celebrating the signing of accords with the Republic of France and the state of Louisiana, and it ensures that France will continue to assist us in our efforts to promote and preserve the French language and culture in our great state. Economic development, culturally, linguistically, it gives our people a chance to know the world and be better citizens of the world because they do. We have 30 French immersion programs in the state, and everyone has a waiting list. And they have a waiting list because the students who are in those programs do better in all the subjects, they do better on all the tests, they do better in English if they're taking French immersion.
We know the importance. You can see the children, how important this French heritage is to Louisiana, and to see it spread through so many schools in Louisiana is a great thing. And as we grow this program and all the French immersion programs across the state, it adds to the education opportunities for children, and it keeps that culture and heritage alive that is so important to our history. It's part of what we are in Louisiana. It's that gumbo that makes us special.
Well, I think the French culture is really part of the identity of Louisiana already. So it's both cultural, historic heritage that you have to promote, but also it gives you a lot of opportunity for French, for young people from Louisiana. They can have more opportunity to work abroad. There's a lot of French-speaking countries in the world. You have a lot of very active members as far as trade is concerned. In tourism, the touristic area is very important too. You have 90,000 French-speaking people visiting New Orleans only every year. So it gives really a lot of opportunities for new professions and job opportunities.
As we gather today for this significant occasion, I would like to start by recognizing dignitaries and special guests. At our head table, we have the Minister, Counselor of France to the United States, Mrs. Natalia Esteval Broadhurst. Lieutenant Governor of Louisiana, Mr. Billy Nungesser. Consul General of France in Louisiana, Mr. Gregor Trumel. President of CODOFIL, Dr. Bill Orsino. Assistant Superintendent, the Department of Education, Aaron Bindley. CODOFIL Consortium of Colleges and Universities, Dr. Dalian Hertig. To my right, we have the First Lady of Louisiana, Ms. Donna Edwards. Education Attaché, French Embassy to the United States, Carl Kogard. And I believe in our audience we have Director of International Relations and Cooperation from Rennes, Brittany, France, Mr. Manuel de Lima. We have State Senator, Mr. Dan Claytor. And State Representative Mike Huval. Thank you also to the Department of Education, Economic Development, Culture, Recreation, and Tourism for joining us today. Our first speaker to start our ceremony today is Mrs. Erin Bindley, the Assistant Superintendent of Education.
Thank you, Phil. Good morning. It's such an honor to be here today to celebrate this historic event and to reaffirm our long-standing partnership and our friendship with France in order to advance our common goals and shared interests for our citizens and our economies. Louisiana is blessed to have a very special relationship with France, particularly in the area of education. As Louisiana has sought to preserve and reinvigorate its French heritage, including the French language, while also providing our students with access to a high-quality education that truly prepares them to be citizens in a global marketplace, France has provided a number of supports and opportunities to advance that goal. This support has primarily come through the provision of French teachers, immersion teachers, who, by the way, teach not only French, but also core academic subjects, and teachers of French as a second language. partnerships that provide direct training and preparation of our Louisiana teacher candidates in France, who then return to Louisiana to teach in our schools, and direct support to Louisiana's French immersion schools and programs to ensure access to quality instruction, materials, and measurements of student learning. Our work together is having a great positive impact upon our students, our schools, and our communities. Louisiana now has 30 schools across the state, public and private, that offer French language immersion, serving over 4,000 students. Some of them are here today. I would ask them to stand, but you're already standing. Students and their parents, why don't you give us a wave out there? Thank you so much for being here. Louisiana also has almost 200 teachers that are here from France. And I think we have some teachers here as well. Would you please give us a wave if you're here? Thank you for being here and thank you for your service. Our work with France is not only about scaling French language education, but also involves a strong commitment to quality. France supports quality in a number of ways, including making available the internationally recognized DELF French language fluency exam for our students, as well as the prestigious label awarded by the French Ministry of Foreign Affairs to certify quality in our schools that offer French bilingual education. We have a lot to be proud of even in this past year. 320 of our students were recognized for their proficiency in the French language as measured by the DELF, and that's up from 200 in 2015. Louisiana now has our very first, not one, but 2 label schools. The Baton Rouge Foreign Language Academic Immersion Magnet School and West Dell Middle School, which were recently honored. Quite an accomplishment. And to explain just what an accomplishment this is, there are only 152 of these schools in the world and only 26 in the US, and we have 2 right here in Louisiana. This work was made possible definitely by the hard work of our students and our educators, but I also want to recognize a very special person who has led the coordination and support of this work, Ms. Terry Hammett. Terry's right here. Terry has coordinated this work at the Department of Education for many years now, and we're just recently retired. So we want to thank her for all of her contributions. All of this was made possible because of a lot of her hard work. We actually have 2 people now here at the department. It took 2 people to replace Terry. Beverly Diaz and Michelle Broad, I want to recognize them as well. They currently lead these efforts at the department, and we're thrilled to have them on board. We're incredibly proud of these achievements thus far, but we still have a lot of work to do. World language immersion is still limited to just a small number of school districts around our state. Most students don't have access to these rigorous, enriching learning environments. Additionally, about half of our school districts are not offering access to a second language in grades K through 8, when research has demonstrated overwhelmingly the positive cognitive and other social and economic benefits of learning an additional language. And we know that our students will transition to an increasingly diverse global economy. We can and must do more to support our schools and our students in having access to these critical skills and opportunities that will not only open a number of benefits to them personally for years to come, but also to our state, our country, and our world. The agreements we signed today to advance these goals will continue and enhance this work already underway. France will continue to provide Louisiana with excellent teachers, offering training for our own Louisiana teacher candidates, and supporting and recognizing excellence achieved by our students in our schools. In addition, we will work together to support the expansion of even more French immersion schools and programs around our state. And we have jointly committed to an ambitious goal. By 2025, we are committing that we will double the number of students in French immersion. So we have a lot of work to do. We will also work to extend world language opportunities for immersion students through high school, not just ending at the 8th grade, and developing training pathways for high school students to pursue workforce credentials in their target language, beginning with tourism, restaurant, and hotel sectors, beginning with the New Orleans, Acadiana, and Capital regions. We are very excited about this work and look forward to making this available to our students. We are incredibly excited to advance this work and expand these opportunities. We're truly grateful to have such dedicated partners in this work. Thank you, Minister Counselor Broadhurst, Consul General Trammell, and thank you to the people of France for your continued support and friendship. Thank you.
Thank you, Erin. Our next speaker will be Dr. Dalian Hertig with the Consortium of Colleges and Universities here in Louisiana.
Bonjour, je suis ravie d'être parmi vous aujourd'hui. Alors, je représente les professeurs de l'État de la Louisiane et je viens d'être élue au mois d'octobre comme le nouveau président ou la nouvelle présidente du consortium. Alors, j'ai travaillé avec le consortium et avec CODOFIL en collaboration avec CODOFIL depuis 25 ans. Et je suis ravie par ce moment pour signer les accords avec la France parce que ça donne une bonne opportunité pour nos étudiants d'obtenir des bourses et de voyager en France et de profiter de leur séjour en France. Alors, je vais vous raconter une petite anecdote. Un de mes étudiants, un garçon, il a gagné une bourse pour étudier en France, à Paris. Alors, à Paris, il a rencontré sa femme. Elle a gagné une bourse également et on s'est mariés. On est retourné et on a continué leurs études. Lui, il a fait l'école médicale et elle a fait l'école de commerce. Alors, avec elle, puisqu'elle parle français couramment, elle peut profiter de sa belle carrière. Et lui, il a pris la décision de faire Médecins sans frontières. Alors, vous voyez l'avantage de ces bourses pour nos étudiants ici en Louisiane, parce que nos étudiants, justement, ça c'est l'avenir. Nos étudiants, ça c'est le futur. Notre voie va devenir leur voie dans le futur. Alors, je voudrais terminer avec... alors, je suis très reconnaissante aujourd'hui pour vous, la France, pour venir ici pour signer ces accords. Et je termine avec deux mots. Vive la France, vive la Louisiane et vive la belle langue, le français. Je vous remercie de tout mon cœur. Merci.
Thank you. Thank you, Dalian. Next, we have Dr. Bill Orsineau, for President for CODOFIL, Council for the Development of French Language in Louisiana.
Merci, Phil. Madame la Ministre, Lieutenant Governor, First Lady of Louisiana, distinguished members of the legislature. La Louisiane et la France, Louisiana and France. It started more than 300 years ago, 1699, when Iberville raised the flag here of the Bourbon dynasty of France. A white flag with 3 gold irises on it. Iris, a fleur iris, a fleur d'Ily. The presence of France in Louisiana is over 300 years old. You only have to look at the helmet of the New Orleans Saints to see that it's there. It's been a long relationship, a special relationship, and the signing of these accords is a continuation of that relationship. Think for a moment what Louisiana would be without CODOFIL. These accords have been signed every 4 years in Paris, 4 years ago, we were at the Quai d'Orsay in Paris signing these accords, and it alternates France and Louisiana, and we're signing them today in Baton Rouge. Without CODOFIL, we wouldn't be signing these agreements. Without CODOFIL, we wouldn't have these students here. We wouldn't have French immersion. There was a time in the history of CODOFIL where it almost died, but it has been renovated, reformed, regenerated, thanks to interested members of the legislature who made it happen. The long history of France and Louisiana is continued by the signing of these accords. I also want to point out, it was mentioned that there are over 200 teachers from France currently teaching in the schools of Louisiana. This has been going on now for almost 50 years. CODOFIL will be celebrating its 50th anniversary in 2018. Think of the influence that these teachers have had year after year after year on our students and on our state. In fact, many of them never leave. For example, I give you the beautiful Christine Merchant who sang the Marseillaise. She's never left. She came here as a CODOFIL teacher. And there are quite a few of them in this state, hundreds actually. So it's a wonderful relationship. It'll take us through the next 4 years, ensuring that Louisiana will do what it can and France will do what it can to help us in promoting la belle langue française. Merci beaucoup.
We are very honored to have our next speaker with us today, Minister Consul of France, Mrs. Nathalie Estival Broadhurst.
Gouverneur, Madame la Présidente du Consortium louisianais des universités, Madame la Superintendante, Mesdames et Messieurs, Messieurs les parlementaires, chers amis francophones et francophiles, I may have to switch now to English to make sure everybody is with me. Just wanted to tell you how honored and delighted I am to be here with you today for the signature of this accord for 2016 until 2020. It's really a great pleasure, and it's very moving as a French citizen, as a French diplomat, to be able to honor, recognize, and sign today this agreement, which is really the illustration of this unique culture, French cultural heritage that Louisiana has as a key asset, a really treasure. And I'm very, very happy that with this agreement we will move forward and have even more ambitious goals with a vision to and a new momentum to increase the efforts that both Louisiana and France have been doing over the past years, since 1968, to promote French here in Louisiana. I know that many of you have really worked very hard over the years to promote French, and I would like to thank you, first of all. And I know it has been a wonderful cooperation process and negotiation process to sign this new agreement. So much has been accomplished over the years, and I think since 1968 we can be really proud of the results. And all of the students here today, it's very moving to see all of them, and I will be happy to meet them and speak in French with them. It's really something special. Of course, culture and the diversity of Louisiana's culture is really at the heart of its international image. It's part of your identity. And I think it's not only culture and heritage, it's also something that is really targeted to the future, to the next steps, to the economic opportunities that French language is going to provide for all of you collectively. And I think as far as international relations, as you know, French is also a key language. It's one of the official language at United Nations, OECD, NATO, European Union, of course. So it's also a language to share and for maybe next generation of young American diplomats, for a lot of opportunities for trade. Of course, it will be a key aspect. We know that there's a lot of trade between France and Louisiana. We have very dynamic French companies here implanted and very happy to develop their business here in Louisiana. So French is not only your culture and your heritage, it's also really a tool targeted to give you even more opening to this interconnected world, in this globalized world. French is also an asset for all the people from Louisiana and all the young students here in New Orleans, in Baton Rouge, and in all the state, of course, the great state of Louisiana. The investment of the government, the French government here in Louisiana has been important, as has been said. We have sent a lot of teachers, thousands of teachers since 1968. And of course, we will continue to make this effort. We will continue this success story with this new agreement. And once again, a new momentum will be given. And I'm very happy to be here to celebrate that with you today. I think 250,000 Francophones here in Louisiana are much more than a minority, linguistic minority. It makes French not a foreign language in Louisiana, but part of your heritage and your tradition. So thank you so much to all of you. Thank you so much, Lieutenant Governor. I'm very happy to be with you, and it's my first trip here in Louisiana, and I'm very eager to meet all of you and to learn a little bit more about all your traditions. And as Grégoire Trumel, our so dynamic Consul General, told me that instead of saying "Vive la francophonie," we could say "Laissez le bon temps rouler." So, thank you all.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Broadhurst. Our next speaker is no stranger to us. He is a great friend, Mr. Grégoire Trumel, Consul General.
Yes, I'm gonna do that. Sorry. Exceptionally, I have written a speech because I wanted not to forget anything, because this is such an important moment for me as a Consul General of France in Louisiana. Madame la Première Dame, Mrs. First Lady, Monsieur le Lieutenant-Gouverneur, Monsieur le Président du CODOFIL, Madame la Présidente du consortium louisianais des universités, Madame la Surintendante adjointe pour l'éducation, chère Erin, Mesdames et Messieurs, chers amis francophones et francophiles. Minister Councilor Broder said it all. She's my boss. She said it all, so it's perfect. You know, I should be very, very brief, but I'm so proud to be with you all today for a historical signature ceremony. We have achieved, I think, the most substantial and ambitious French-Louisiana agreements ever. With these accords, French immersion education will thrive for the greatest benefits of the children, students, and teachers of the Pelican State. This state is unique and the Francophone hub of the United States. You said it before, and this is a great asset. 5,000 students now, 10,000 in 2025. The demand is here, the parents want it, so we'll do it. France has been investing in the education in Louisiana since 1968, and we will keep on doing that as allies, partners, and friends. We have worked all together for a great cause. I would like to pay a tribute to the CODOFIL, his president, Bill, and his leadership for your constant effort to preserve and develop French language and culture here. This is a passion you share with the Acadiana delegation of the Parliament. Thank you so much. I would like to pay a tribute to the Louisiana Department of Education too, Mrs. Erin Bendili and her team. We have had a great negotiation, strengthened by mutual trust and respect, and an only common interest, the future of the children of Louisiana. As Honorable Governor Edwards said in his inauguration speech last January, exactly here, and I was very proud to be here, he said something like that. Its young people and youth are the #1 natural resource of the state. This means education is a priority for Mr. Edwards and for the state of Louisiana. How Mr. Edwards is right to emphasize this, and thank you, Governor, thank you, Mrs. First Lady, for your support and honoring us with your presence here today. You are so popular, people love you so much, and they are absolutely right. Let me finally pay a tribute to a great friend and a passionate man, committed every day for his beloved Louisiana and her people for years. Mr. Lieutenant Governor Shelby Lee, you are always here for us, for France, international cooperation, for the CODOFIL, for Francophonie, preservation of the culture of Louisiana. As a clever and efficient man, you have appointed a great team around you, and it was a pleasure to work with. It is always a pleasure to see and meet with you, and let's be honest, we always have a lot of fun together, and that's great. I have no words to express my gratitude to you. Mr. Lieutenant Governor, merci for receiving us today and setting up and chairing this great ceremony. You are at home here. I let you the floor. Bill Arsenault knows I have a French tendency to speak too much. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Lieutenant Governor of Louisiana, Mr. William H. Nungesser, merci encore, vive la Louisiane et vive la France.
Now I'm the one that gets accused of talking too much. I'm honored to be here today. This is a special occasion, and thank all of our partners for being here. We couldn't do it without any of you. And First Lady, thank you so much for your support of this program and all you do for the education. The state is truly lucky to have such a passionate First Lady. So thank you, and let's give her a round. The Republic of France and Louisiana has always had a great direct relationship. And Gregor, you have been such a passionate spokesperson for that relationship, and your friendship and passion is only to lead to greater things for us here in Louisiana and to continue to grow all of our efforts together. I won't read all of the stats that you were able to cover earlier because, but I truly have the same goals and visions of growing this program. And I know with all the partners here today, the First Lady's support, and all of you here at the table, those goals will be met and exceeded as we work as a team for this great partnership. Thank you so much for being here.
Although Louisiana has the most French immersion programs in the country, dual language programs have been proven nationwide to enhance cognitive skills, promote higher test scores, and increase employment opportunities. I have personally witnessed how much a child's education is enriched by exposing them to language and the arts. With such a wide range of lifelong benefits, it's no wonder there's a long waiting list for such incredible programs like these throughout our state. I have no doubt that the relationship between France and Louisiana will continue to grow, and I'm excited to see what the future has in store as we continue to work together. Also, on a side note, we decided this year to decorate the mansion with a French theme. So as you enter the door to the mansion, you will read the words Joy Noel. It is a coincidence, by the way. So here we are today. We start today celebrating Joy Noel at the mansion. And lastly, we will have Papa Noel visiting today. For many people who are lost their homes through the last historic flooding of 2016. So today we will have Papa Noel visiting many of those families today in the mansion. So I just want to say thank you to all of you for all that you're doing for our state, for all you're doing for our children. Thank you, God bless, and Joy Noel.
French culture is just a part of the state. So first of all, it's good for the culture, for the people to keep on having legacy, heritage alive, and so on. But it's not enough. It's truly a very big economic asset to have some French company, Francophone companies to come to Louisiana, to settle in Louisiana. It's good for tourism as well, to have people speaking French in hospitality business and in the, for instance, museums and so on. So it's very important. And Louisiana is definitely the francophone hub of the United States. You know, that's what makes your state so unique. This great heritage.
France has been having a relationship with Louisiana since 1699. And through many years, the French language was a primary language here. And unfortunately, sometimes in the mid-50s or 60s, we started losing the language. And this shows that the importance of the French language to Louisiana.
You never really know as far as how it's going to affect you personally. Where I studied French at an early age, and when I went to law school, it was very helpful as far as being able to understand that. But it may be just as important to be able to read the wine menu.
We really have an obligation to preserve our heritage, and that, number one, is the language. And the language, to me, is the most beautiful language in the world. And I love to hear my students speak the language.